Welcome back. Sensex Nifty, a little above 0.5% cut. But amongst the entire rate-sensitive pack, it's really the reality pack which is taking a very, very big hit today. The pack hasn't really either participated in the rally which you've seen in the last 1 year. Even the last 1 month, it's been under stress. So today, it's just got another reason to get sold off a little more. Is demand, which was beginning to recover, now going to look even tougher for the real estate industry? Anita Arjun-Das, Managing Director and CEO of Mahindra Lifespace Developers, joins us right now. Anita, thank you very much for coming in today. I know business for you, at least the Q3 numbers show, has been very good, and there was a demand pickup which most industry participants were talking about. What happens now? On one side, cost of funds become more expensive. On the other side, sooner or later, home loans get more expensive. How much do you think demand would get impacted?
Well, I think the rate hike was inevitable given the inflationary pressure that the government is under. One would have thought it would have been closer to April during the monetary policy than now. But well, it's happened. The concern really is whether we will see a second round of revision in April. It is a fact that interest rates are going to get dearer as we go forward. So over a period of time, yes, there would be some impact on affordability. I don't think it's really only a function of interest rates, but also the fact that we've seen commodity prices going up like steel. We also have the service tax implication coming out of the recent budget. So there is bound to be some level of pressure on the affordability of homes. From our perspective, we've seen sales doing well in the last 3 quarters. Don't really foresee an issue in the immediate future. As we go ahead, we'll really have to see what happens.
Right. Anita, what's the tipping point in terms of home loan interest rates where you think there will be a big impact? You've just mentioned that, you know, with commodity price increases as well, it's perhaps going to be a double whammy even for developers to keep at least on both on the residential and commercial side. Price hike would have to follow sooner than later. So what's really, in your analysis, the tipping point for demand to get hugely affected?
I think when you really start looking at going closer to the double-digit kind of interest rates, which is upwards of 9.5%, then it would start getting worrisome because people would look at the long-term interest implications of their borrowings, and the EMI would actually increase. So really, if you look at the curve of ticket prices of homes on one side and on the other side the interest rates, and the affordability factor starts getting lower and lower, then people would look carefully at their decisions on home buying. But well, the economy has picked up. GDP is growing well. People have seen salary hikes, or salary hikes are happening. So from a feel-good perspective, a lot really has happened in the last 6 months to support demand.
Anita, you know, you speak to bankers and they'll say that the problem is not with the rising rates, but the problem is with the rising prices for especially the housing projects. Just to link that into what's happening within your housing side, what kind of price increases have you seen in this quarter, if any? Have they flattened out? Do you still see gains coming in on the pricing side for some of your projects, your residential projects?
I think if you look at price hikes in the residential sector, it's really a phenomenon of Mumbai versus the rest of India. Mumbai definitely has seen a significant increase across projects of all developers. It is today closer to the 2008 peaks that was prevalent in sometime in January, February of 2008. The rest of the country is kind of at an 80 to 90% of original peak levels. From the perspective of our projects, we never really dropped prices significantly, nor have we increased prices significantly. It was always in a 5 to 10% band.
All right, fair enough. Just moving on to a relatively more corporate discussion, Anita, what happens to your plans to acquire about 4,000 acres of land in Chennai and Pune, I believe, for 2 business parks? Where do things stand over there?
It's ongoing at the moment. At both locations, we've started acquiring land. So at this point in time, we are partway through the acquisition process.
Any cost of this acquisition that you have in, overall cost once you do complete the process?
Not really. We can't really share those numbers at this point in time. It's still early days in the acquisition. So very difficult to share any forecast on that.
And with your current SEZ projects both in Chennai and Jaipur, have there been additions in number of tenants over this quarter?
Over this quarter, we've added about 2 customers in Chennai and about 3 customers in Jaipur.
And what is the occupancy now? What level has it reached?
Well, Chennai today has about 48 companies who are part of the Mahindra World City in Chennai, both across the SEZ and the domestic tariff area. About 30 companies are operational, either manufacturing or exporting their services out of the World City in Chennai. In Jaipur, we have about 30 companies on board, and just about 2 have started operations. It's still early days. We've just started operations within 18 months of actually getting into Jaipur. So both Infosys and Deutsche Bank are operational with about 1,000 people at Jaipur.
All right. Just final question then, Anita. I mean, Q3 numbers were very good. Everybody was really happy with them. Q4, you think the momentum will continue both on the top line and bottom line growth? Can we expect similar momentum of Q3 or perhaps a little better?
You know, we don't share any forecasts, so all I can say is we're hoping for the best.
All right, Anita, thanks so much for joining us and giving us that view. Appreciate your time and your thoughts on, of course, the macro situation, the RBI rate hike, plus corporate developments.
Plans.
All right, that's all the time we have on Power Lunch. Thanks so much for being with us. There's a lot more news on the channel, so keep it right here. Ashu Sinha is up with Newsroom next.